Now, in this day in history, I guess we're playing off because we just talked about from the organizers of Botcon and their convention. In this day in history, April 10th, 2016 was the last day of the very last Botcon ever. And it was a very sad day. And I remember on that very last day, they did a great, like it was funny, it was the last day, the very last panel on the Sunday from 1 o'clock onward, and it was the very last panel was Botcon over the years, where they went through the history of Botcon and all the previous stuff and stuff that didn't get released. And it was a very sad last day, and I remember Brian Savage, he gave a little speech and then he started getting all crying and misty-eyed, and I was actually surprised. I was like, wow, like, you know, Brian Savage, someone who wasn't really part of the Transformer fandom. He was someone who came in as a G.I. Joe fan and helped with the Botcon brand after it had its issues in the early 2000s to give us fun publications form of Botcon today. How he was emotionally affected by this, so it was pretty crazy. But I mean, especially all of this for even outside of the fun publication run history of Botcon, just the overall history of Botcon as a whole. Because Botcon up to that point, I mean, Botcon started in 1994, you know, so in 2016, it was just this at the time, it was this almost 25-year brand. You know, Botcon was almost around for 25 years as this entity for Transformer fans. And for it to end it sucks. It sucks. I mean, I know that when Botcon stopped and then 2017 rolled around and I went to HasCon, which kind of in a lot of ways is the official successor in a lot of ways. It's not the spiritual successor. I still feel that TFCon in a lot of ways is the true spiritual successor of Botcon, even though it's something that existed alongside it.
In tandem.
Yeah, I feel that if you're someone who loved Botcon, I think TFCon is the place to go now, where HasCon will have the official exclusives, but it's not the same vibe that a Botcon or TFCon gave. And it's not I've talked about HasCon in the past, but it's just that with the departure of Botcon, we lost a really big, massive entity for the fandom, which was something that I guess maybe from a business standpoint was just not worth it at the time. You know, maybe something like that might come back in the future, but at that moment, there was a lot of reasons to kind of fold up Botcon and for HasCon to be a thing instead. And it's a shame. I miss Botcon dearly because I love it, and I was going strong to Botcon for 17 plus years. You know, so didn't miss one since 2001, and such a great show. Such a great show, and that day in history was just probably the saddest day for a lot of people in the fandom. And I remember that panel room for that final panel. I remember just leaning on the wall at the front and just all the people throughout the years who were there, like so many people. And at one point, Pete Sinclair got these baseball jerseys, and he handed it out to all the guys who have been to every single Botcon. And I think it was like only 4 or 5 guys are able to claim that, and it's a very elite list. Like, I mean, even Andrew Hall, like Hydra, he's not able to say that. Doug, Headmaster Don, you know, he wasn't able to say that. He missed 1 year, and that kind of screwed him out of the the jersey, but they probably should have given him one too.
Yeah.
But either way, it's just yeah, it's sad. It's really sad, and I got to work with those guys, and those guys were extremely professional to me. Pretty awesome crew of, really awesome crew of people. And I kind of wish in a lot of ways, even though I'm part of the TFCon crew, I kind of wish that it would come back. I kind of wish it would come back that way. Something else, could exist. And I don't want to say be competition, but a good alternative, you know. But yeah, this day in history, all those years ago.
So I know for me, just coming in at the tail end. So like, Daniel's a seasoned vet, heavily seasoned, and I came in on the last two, and I was just just impressed by the international presence of everyone just coming in from all over the place, and also finally getting to sit in on where was they Judd Nelson's panel. I thought that was pretty. I can't stress that enough. I really, really can't. That was very surreal. Someone that you've seen in movies, someone that you've seen in TV shows, someone that you've seen act, and they're there in front of you, just taking it all in, enjoying it. Getting to meet Stan Bush and his wife, and him being super awesome and just happy to be there and super chill.
And the concert.
Yeah, and the concert that happened, and like it was very surreal for me.
Botcon, that was the one thing that I always say about Botcon, and I love TFCon, but it's just I always felt that because Botcon had that Hasbro backing, it was always able to do these over-the-top, like, didn't make sense to do it, but we still do it kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, it's Stan Bush giving a free concert in downtown Kentucky.
Exactly.
Like, there's no way to monetize that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? He's literally in downtown Kentucky. It's all set up, and he's giving a free concert.
Yeah, it just seems like that area is just prone to giving concerts.
Yeah,
like that area is just happening all the time.
But to plan something like that, that's a whole, and Botcon's one of the few conventions too, actually, that you don't have to pay for autographs unless it's like obviously like a premium kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
But 99% of guests are you don't have to pay for autographs, and they're one of the few big conventions that were left at that point that kept that practice, because I know almost all conventions now, big or small, paying for autographs is the norm.
Yeah,
it's the norm now. Guaranteed contracts don't really exist anymore. Now it's guarantee signature contracts as opposed to an appearance fee. So again, that was another very important thing too.
And what was the other one? It was Stan Bush, and who else was oh man, I forgot his name.
Well, David Kaye was there.
No, the other person that was in the concert with him that also did
Vince DiCola.
Vince DiCola, yeah. Seeing those two rocking out together on stage was pretty cool. What else was there? International presence I mentioned. Oh, I thought there was one more. There was definitely one more. Oh, the volunteers there that I got to meet. Just like, you're talking to somebody and they're like, "Oh, you're from Canada," and you have like a nice little conversation with your neighbor, basically.
Well, yeah,
everyone, even though it was like the last one, everyone was still in good spirits. I remember, what was her name? The woman that does the secret bingo game.
Oh, well, yeah.
She was hilarious. She was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, we're just at the front of the shop, and she's just talking and just going off and just being silly and stuff. And you're just like, she has a lot of sass to her. And
that is,
like,
she should
be saying those things,
That's Brian Savage's wife who
she
runs
was hilarious. Oh
she
my God.
She is the biggest pervert in the world. And she runs what Wendell was referring to. I believe it was the last 5 or 6, because I only discovered it by accident, because it's a secret.
Yeah.
The last 5 or 6 Botcons, she'd find somewhere in the building, whether it be like a meeting room or something, depending on where the convention was, she'd find somewhere where she would run Botcon bingo. And what it is whatever didn't sell from last Botcon or from the club or whatever, they'll do a bingo. It's 100% free, and you have a chance to win something awesome. Like they had to give an equivalency, like they had the Black Rodimus, which was one of their exclusives that at a time was going for like $500, $600 on eBay. That was a bingo prize. I won at it twice. I know Vangelis won from it. I know my buddy John won. I know my buddy Julian, also known as Pulse Dragon on the boards, he won. Almost everyone I know that has ever done that bingo. I think actually Hydra didn't win. I think he's the only,
Oh
because
no.
I know Hydra came to it in 2010 or 2012. He came to it once
Right.
because he's on a different time zone when he does it. So it's an evening thing. So sometimes he just goes back to the room to sleep. I think he's the only one I've known personally that I've gone to it with that didn't win. Like because it was secret. There isn't a lot of people, so your chances were always good. And what she does is every turn she gives you a card. So if you choose not to use it that turn, now you have two cards for the next time. So if like she goes, okay, this time around we're gonna be doing this figure. If you already have that figure, if you're not interested in it, you kept your card with you and
Yeah.
you save it for the next one. And now you have two cards that you could use, two bingo cards. And it was spectacular. And what she did was, because it was this little secret thing that you just kind of had to know people who could tell you where it is. For the very last year of 2016, she made an exclusive Botcon bingo Dabberbot coin. And I bought one because I was just like, to commemorate it and all the fun throughout the years. I took a photo with her too because of all the fun that we've had throughout the years. I bought it. I think it was like a year and a half later. Someone sold it, their coin, on eBay for $200.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was a metal legit coin, about the size of a silver dollar. It was like bigger than a regular dollar, like a silver dollar, and it had like a robot Dabberbot on one side and Botcon Bingo on the other. And it was a little thing that she made because it was her own little thing. She's not a Transformer fan. She likes bingo. So it was her own little thing with Botcon, and I really like that. She was always very fun. And all those years of I'm just grateful for it because of all the opportunities that she gave so many people to get past product that was always really rare and tough to get. So awesome stuff.
That's always something I always appreciate, a woman that can make me blush. And just keep going and just keep going. I was like, I need to take a break. My cheeks are hurting. I'm smiling too much.
You're smiling too much. Your face hurts. That's when you know that you're smiling too much. It's
Oh
happened to
man.
me a few times, but yeah. Oh man, yeah. Again, I'm gonna miss Botcon. I'm gonna miss it dearly. And there's just to me, I feel that like the TFCon that just passed in the USA, TFCon Chicago that just passed,
Mm,
not Chicago, Washington in 2017. A lot of those people kind of emigrated
right.
over to TFCon. So I feel that as time progresses, if HasCon keeps the way that it's doing things, which I think it will,
Yeah.
TFCon will just be the true spiritual successor of BotCon, just without the official product. Although you never know. Things might change in the future, but we'll see. But until then, we'll see.